Hello there, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel, and if you're new here, you're most welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the sewing of this milkmaid dress. I've already posted the drafting part of it on the channel, so please go check it out. So guys, these are the pieces I'll actually be joining. I have this upper front piece, two of them, and then I have two back pieces with lining as well. I actually cut lining for the two back pieces, and then this mid front, I also have a lining for it as well. So the only piece that does not have a lining is the upper front piece, and then the flare for the downside. So the next thing I'm going to do is to start working on the upper pieces. I'll go ahead and keep these other pieces aside and then work on this upper front piece. For the upper front piece, I have two pieces of it, one from the right hand side and one from the left hand side. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be placing the right sides of the pieces facing each other, just the same way you see in this video. And then I'll go ahead and sew from the downside and stop at some point. I'll actually measure it and stop at 3 inches or 4 inches depending on how you want it to actually open from there. And for the two back pieces, I've already gone ahead to cut lining for them, so I'll take it to my sewing machine and then turn it all the way around. And I've also gone ahead to cut a long fabric which I'll be using for the front rope. Okay, so it's 1.2 inches wide, so I'll go ahead and sew it on my machine. And for this upper front piece, I've actually gone ahead to even make a loose stitch at the downside, and I've also created a casing for the ropes to be able to pass through, and I also went ahead to sew that space that I left there. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be drawing and creating gathers. For this upper front, I'll actually adjust it to be able to fit in the other piece. Okay, so guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm actually done making the gathers. So the next thing is for me to place it from the middle, from the midpoint, and then I will actually adjust it to fit in the space from this other side, and then I will do the same thing to this other side as well. I'll actually adjust it to be able to reach the whole space, and then I will take it to my sewing machine and then sew the other side, and then sew the other side as well. I will just sew it round. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm actually done sewing, as you can see. So you see how it's actually looking even from the inside. So I'm going to be placing the lining just the same way you see me doing. I will just open it up like that and then place it with the right side facing the wrong side, and then I will take it to my sewing machine and then sew it from this other side and then sew the other side as well. So when I turn it, it's actually going to cover the rough part. So I'm actually done doing that. So you see that it's actually covering the rough part from the inside. And I've also gone ahead to sew and iron the rope that will actually be fixing in the front piece. Okay, you can actually make it to be as long as you want it to be. Okay, so I'm actually using my safety pin to be able to fix it inside the casing that I've created at the upper side. So I'll just go ahead and fix it inside now. And the downside of this rope is also closed so that it won't be rough. So I've gone ahead to take the rope out from this other side. I'll remove the safety pin and then I'll be fixing the other one from the other side as well. So after taking the both ropes from the other sides, I'll take it to my sewing machine and secure the both sides so that it doesn't escape inside the top. So guys, I've also gone ahead to sew and turn the two back pieces as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be sewing the two back pieces on the front piece. So before I do that, I'm going to be placing the two back pieces with the right sides facing each other, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew a loose stitch to hold the two pieces together before I will bring it back and then place it on the front piece to sew the sides. So guys, I'm actually done doing that, as you can see. So I'll go ahead and place it in the middle with the right sides facing each other, just the same way you see in this video, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and then sew the 1.5 inch that I left for sewing allowance. So I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance when I was drafting it, so I'll just go ahead and sew it. So guys, I'm actually done sewing the sides, as you can see. So I'll just turn this over and then show you guys how it actually looks like. So this is how everything is looking like right now. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open the back. I'll go ahead and open the back now. I'll go ahead and open it because I'll be joining the down piece with the upper side. So the next thing I'm working on is the sleeve. So I have the full length of about 44 inches. I'll go ahead and measure it so that you guys will see. So I have 44 inches in length, and then the width is about 13 inches. And I've also gone ahead to create casing for the upper side and the down side for elastic, and I did the same thing to this other side as well. And the next thing is to cut the elastic I'll be using for the upper side and the down side. So for the upper side, I've actually cut the length of 9 inches. So I'm cutting 2 of them for both the left hand side and the right hand side of both sleeves. And then for the downside, I've actually gone ahead to cut the length of 8 inches. So I'm cutting 2 of them as well. So I'll be using my safety pin to pass the elastic for the downside. So when I was done fixing the elastic for the downside, I just discovered that I had not cut the armhole for the sleeve yet. So I've gone ahead to place the armhole of my back piece, and then I'll go ahead and cut it to create an armhole for the 2 sleeves. And I'll use my safety pin to fix the elastic in and then fix the sleeve on the top. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm done fixing the sleeve on the top, as you can see. So you see how everything is actually turning out. So I'll go ahead and arrange everything now. I'll arrange it so that you guys will see how it's actually looking. So the gown is almost ready. So you see how the sleeve is looking. See how puffy it is. And then the next thing to do is to be joining the skirt parts on the top. So I'll be working on the skirt part now. I've actually gone ahead to fold the skirt into 2, and then I'll be marking my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'll go ahead and mark it there, and then I will notch it. So after notching, I'll just draw a straight line. I'll open it and draw a straight line to the downside. So guys, I actually lost the clip of how I was cutting this, but I actually sprayed it open, and then I mark a straight line all the way down, and I mark it to my chalk. So I'll go ahead and open up everything now. I'll just use my scissors and then open up everything. Now I'll cut it open from the downside to the upper side. So guys, after cutting the 2 sides open, I'll just place the right sides facing each other, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it. I'll actually place the 2 right sides facing each other and then sew it, and then stop exactly where I want the slit to be. Okay, like mine, I want it to be above my nail cap, so I'll stop exactly where I want the slit to be. So you guys, I'm actually done sewing. So you see how everything is. So you see that where the slit actually stop, and I actually went there to fold the downside as well. I actually fold this from the slit side all the way down, and then I folded the downside of this skirt part as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be marking the midpoint of this skirt part. I'll actually fold it into 2, just the same way you see me doing this video, and then I will use my chalk to mark the midpoint so that I'll be able to place on the upper side to sew. And I'll also be marking the midpoint of the upper side as well. I'll just fold it into 2, and then I'll mark the midpoint. I'll mark it from the outside, and then I'll place the downside, the skirt part of it, with the right sides facing each other, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine, and then I will sew from the left hand side and the right hand side. So I'll just place the 2 of them with the right sides facing each other, just the same way you see in this video, and then I'll neatly arrange it, take it to my sewing machine and sew the 2 sides. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm done sewing the downside with the upper side. So you see how everything is right now. So you see how the slit is even looking at the downside, and see how the upper side is looking right now. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be fixing my zip on the gown. It's actually an invisible zip, so I'll take it to my sewing machine and then fix the zip all the way down. So I'll neatly arrange the gown, alright, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew. With the zip allowance that I actually left earlier, I'll sew it all the way down. So the downside, I'm actually going to close it. I'll actually sew it and close it where the zip stop. So guys, this is actually the final look of the gown. Please comment down below your thoughts and then like the video if you find it helpful. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.